And I am truly live. This is not pre-recorded this morning, so are back at it after a week of travel. And I was very prepared for our travel with all of my business and scheduling and our packing lists, everything else. We went on a bike trip, which was incredibly fun. And we did not get totally stopped by the hurricane that came on the East Coast. But something that happened the night before was our plumbing went out between our kitchen and our bathroom sink. We tend to have a little issue there, need to have some of those pipes blown out. But it was backed up. And this happened, of course, the evening before our early morning flight. So I spent this extra hour and a half trying to clear enough so it just wasn't totally gross. By the little gal that was coming, our neighbor that was going to come and check on our dog. And so, yeah, I just spent that sort of time putting on my glove and getting all of that gunk. But it really solidified how important pre-planning is and being as ready as possible. And I was, but it was just kind of interesting how those things usually happen at the very last minute. And those things can happen in any stage of what we do, whether it's our business, whether it's our lives, and just to be prepared for them, that stuff just happens. But we got through all of that and really had a wonderful trip. I did bring along some travel tools. I posted mostly before everything was scheduled. If you have any questions on how I do that, I have a wonderful online course called A New Way of Doing Business, and you can get there, anewwayofdoingbusiness.com, if you have any questions on that, and working remotely. But I brought my iPad, and I had put a little keyboard with it, and so that was in the case, very easy to use, and my phone, and I was able to schedule some things just remotely. Only just a couple minutes, a couple times during the week, and everything else was pretty much pre-scheduled. So that all worked out really well for that week. But again, that takes planning ahead with some of those travel tools that we have, and with what we can do these days with some of the automation. It's really pretty amazing. And then the food. We are back at healthy eating. Of course, I'm originally from the South, part of my family is, and so I grew up eating grits much of the time. I was very familiar with that. But we had a lot of grits, a lot of biscuits, and of course, fried food. We had chicken that did look like it was on steroids, and with that fried food. So we are back with our healthy eating this week too, a little behind the scenes. And it really segues right into a wonderful announcement of this week's podcast that comes out on Tuesday. And it is high energy without all the lattes. I have a wonderful interview with one of my colleagues, Sherry Traxler, and you're going to love this interview. This is what she does on intuitive eating. So make sure that you tune into that you get the newsletter. Every single week it comes out, goalsforyourlife.com/newsletter. And if you are interested in my course on how to kind of free up your time, part of what I do now is help people have a better second half than first, at mid-career, at the halftime of life, and starting in your side business. And you can do so much of this and schedule it and use some of the tech tools that we have today to really kind of get going and build your audience, and to build, especially if you have information to give. It's a wonderful course, anewwayofdoingbusiness.com. Thank you again for joining me, and I'll look forward to being with you again next time. Bye-bye.